ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Run It Back. A week late, but that's okay, baby. We here, we are and ready to go, and it's a good one. Last time we did an Ian movie, Imitation Game. Time before that, we did a Schubert movie, Whiplash. Now we're back to a Lynn movie, and we're doing the amazing LA Confidential. Yes, if you know Tory Lanez, I did that for you, Ian. I know you know that LA Confidential song, and I thought of you instantly. But joining us as always, Mr. Ian Hawley and Alvin Schubert. I'll start off with you, Ian. Ian, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. You know, relatively. I just found out not 20 minutes ago that I have COVID, but it's funny that you mentioned that song. I actually looked up on YouTube trying to watch this movie because I thought I could just like rent it from there, and that's the only thing that came up. So I was like, all right, I'll check out this song.
You never heard it before this?
No, I'm glad I found it.
I would have played it, but this movie's already problematic with Kevin Spacey. I didn't want our intro to be problematic with Tory Lanez. My man gotta get proven innocent before I start playing him on pods again.
That's fair. Yeah, you gotta let the due process play out on that one.
100%. But also joining us, Mr. Adam Schubert. Shuby, how you doing, brother? This is a Schubert and Linden. Like, we bonded over this movie. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Yeah, this is a fun movie to revisit.
Mm-hmm.
It was good because I hadn't seen it in so long that a lot of the beats were, I wouldn't say, like, I knew kind of what was going to happen, but like there were a few twists and turns that I forgot were coming.
And there were things in this movie that, seeing it this time, really changed my perspective. Like, there were a lot of foreshadowing that I saw. A lot of like, oh shit, they told you this. Like, oh shit, he acted this way because of this. And I wrote it down. There's moments like, I'm gonna just wait. But there's moments that I was like, holy fuck, they're being conniving to do the bidding of the guy in charge. And like, you see that throughout the entire movie. And I thought it was brilliant. You don't get that until second and third, fourth viewing. But let's start off with Ian, and then I'll get your initial thoughts on the movie, Schubert. But Ian, what's your initial thoughts? You haven't seen this movie until now. You texted us, boy, what a damn good movie. Let me know your thoughts on this.
So this was another one of those movies, kind of like Heat, where you don't really know what the hell's going on until right at the end of the movie. Really slow developing.
But unlike Heat, it's more, you can follow it along a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly. There's not as much like jumping around between random narratives.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you're almost following it at the pace of one of the cops. And
you're following three people.
That. You're always like kind of
Did he freeze?
What's going on with most of the stuff? Me? No,
oh yeah, all right, you're back. Yeah, no, you're back. You froze for just like a little bit.
Oh, my bad. You're always kind of like a step behind, like most of the cops. Like, you know, one cop's doing one thing, and you're like, why is he going to do? What's that going to turn into? And then, you know, the goody two shoes cop comes along and, you know, lays it all out for you, basically, if you haven't followed up along until that point. So that was good for me, you know, trying to keep up with this movie first time watching through. But, you know, like you say, that like when you finish the movie, you can look back on it and go, okay, well, this was kind of pointing to this, and like, oh, you know, I saw that coming from, you know, what this guy said back here. So a lot of good, you know, twists and turns. Some of them I did pick up on, some of them I didn't. So I was thoroughly impressed by this movie, and I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch it again for, you know, that replay value, like you say.
Hell yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So this time I wrote down this because I thought this was something we could talk about. I was like, this film may seem like propaganda at first. It may seem like propaganda, but I truly believe it's the opposite. It takes the beloved noir Chinatown romanticized era, but shows you the evils and corruptions of it. But it's so beautiful that it hides the evils and corruption by making it that beautiful, oh, these are cops, this is noir, this is romanticized, but it's a right and clear view, and it does all the things that propaganda films do, but instead of the bright, let's make the cops look like heroes, no, this movie shows the evil of cops, just how bad they are and how gray it is. Like, even Eggsy, who's trying to be the perfect cop, he still fails, and it shows you the flaws of our police system, even back in 19 something.
Well, for him, I think like his whole thing is like he's so much wanting to be a ladder climber that he will
forget
lie.
lie and forget what it means to be a good cop.
Right. Like, he's trying to climb the ladder under the guise of being a good cop, and which is just throwing other people under the bus. And like when it comes to Russell Crowe, Bud,
he's just the typical. When
it comes, but for Exley, when it comes to Bud, he can't see beyond the tough guy.
Oh yeah.
Exterior of Bud, and that's what like. So like for a while, you think that he's going after him.
100%. And then like for Exley, like you said, he's this ladder climber that's I guess making excuses for the ladder climbing by saying, oh, I'm the only good one. Bud is this, I am ignorant to what should be happening, but I'm morally correct because I show you I am against women beaters and I stand for women. That shows you my morality, but I still do fucked up shit because chain of command. And then Jack Vincent is like, I'll do corrupt shit for money. He's the typical, I'm doing this shit for money and I'm gonna help to line my pockets. So each three show different versions of cops that we know and shows the reality of it. And then Dudley, the chief, is the ultimate chaotic evil where it's, I'm doing corruption to the highest. Like he says it in the line to Exley when he's like, are you sure you can be detective? Can you plant drugs on people? Can you shoot someone if it's necessary? And he said one more thing. And Exley was like, I don't have to do it like you. And he was like, I don't know, boyo. Ian, how do you feel about this being the anti-propaganda film?
Well, I think that you kind of get a taste of the corruption of the LAPD right at the beginning. I mean, Sid kind of mentions it. Danny DeVito is fantastic in this movie, by the way, but we'll get to him. But Sid kind of says it in the opening monologue where he's like, how can there be organized crime when the LAPD is supposed to be the best police force in the world? And then they go right into it with, it's like Christmas Eve or Christmas night or, whatever it is, and the cops are celebrating. And they're just all getting hammered at the station.
Yep.
It's like, all right, well, already I'm like suspicious about these cops. And then it just obviously spirals from there. Not only that night, the first scene of the movie, but throughout the movie, you just realize more and more of, how far the corruption, not necessarily one type of corruption, but just how widespread everybody is.
And how it affects everyone.
Yeah, it affects, all of the major departments. I mean, I thought it was brilliant that the main case that they're following has narcotics, vice and homicide.
Yeah.
And then it takes, 3 people from each department to work the case,
whether they're
weeks. Working together or not. But we'll get into all of that. It definitely exposes many different undersides of how police can become corrupted.
Yep. Like I said, it's the beautiful anti-propaganda film because we romanticize the noir era so much with Chinatown, and this shows like what it really was like back then, which I love. And I'm sure it was worse than what this film showed because they got away with it because we don't know about it. But let's get into it. As you know, we do background, we then do the review where we either do a straight up discussion or a scene rundown. I did this one as a scene rundown, but it could evolve into a discussion if y'all want. We also do best actor, best scene. If y'all have any quotes, best quotes. We also do who won the movie, who lost the movie, sixth man of the movie. And for those that don't know, sixth man of the movie, for those that don't know basketball terms, it's an actor who's a supporting that doesn't have a major role, comes in, lights the scene on fire, and then leaves. Sixth man. And then we also have loser of the movie, winner of the movie. These are characters, not the actors. And then we have the final question, whatever that may be. And I'm explaining this for all the new listeners who have just came, all the new subscribers. Welcome. Thank you for coming. This is our movie review show. Run it back. You've seen the Bros Who Binge review clips, but this is the full movie review show with Ian Schubert and myself. So without further ado, let's get into the background of LA Confidential. So LA Confidential is a 1997 American neo-noir crime film directed, produced, and co-written by Curtis Hanson. Schubert, real quick, Curtis Hanson, he did anything else that you know of? Like
Hanson?
Yeah, like do the quick Shuby IMDb, because I don't think there's much Curtis Hanson did besides this. Like, I haven't heard of too many Curtis Hanson movies or TV shows besides this. This is the only one that I know.
8 Mile.
Oh, he did 8 Mile? Okay. That's a good one. Ian, being that you're the Michigan guy, how do you feel about 8 Mile? Do you like it?
I actually just watched it the other night.
Okay.
I do like it. I mean, I was not a super big Eminem fan, but I listened to his music a bit in high school. But like people from Michigan are like diehard Eminem and Kid Rock fans, and like the Kid Rock one blows my mind because he sucks. But Eminem's good, man. I mean, it's been a while since he's come out with like a dope ass project, but you could say that about a lot of rappers from the 90s. So I'm not mad at it. 100%. But I do like that movie a lot.
Okay, we might have to put it on the list. Anything else, Schubert, or that's it?
His most recent movie was Chasing Mavericks. It has a 7 on IMDb. It has Gerard Butler. It's about surfers.
Oh, that shit was ass.
He did a movie in 1994 called The River Wild that has Kevin Bacon and Meryl Streep. I've heard that's pretty good.
Oh, okay. Go Curtis Hanson. All right, so he just comes every once in a while, makes a film, and then dips.
Yeah, and then he has another 7 on IMDb with this movie in 2000 called The Wonder Boys with Michael Douglas and Tobey Maguire.
And he gets big actors, so like, okay, people must rock with it. I'm gonna check out those other films, but that's Curtis Hanson. But I'm still letting y'all know when I tweet about this movie, I'm describing it as the Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce classic, LA Confidential. I'm not saying the Curtis Hanson classic. like for example, with Imitation Game, I said the Benedict Cumberbatch biopic. The Benedict Cumberbatch Alan Turing biopic. I didn't say the director. We don't even know who the fucking director is of that movie. But same thing with this. LA Confidential, directed by Curtis Hanson. The screenplay was by Hanson and Brian Helgeland. It's based off of James Ellroy's 1990s novel of the same name. The third book in his LA Quartet series. The film tells the story of a group of LAPD officers in 1953 and the intersection of police corruption and Hollywood celebrity. The title refers to the 1950s scandal magazine Confidential, portrayed in the film as Hush Hush. At the time, Australian actors Guy Pearce and Russell Crowe were relatively unknown in North America. This was their breakout film. One of the film's backers, Peter Dennett, was worried about the lack of established stars in the lead roles, but supported Hanson's casting decisions, and the director had the confidence also to recruit Kevin Spacey, Kim Basinger, and Danny DeVito. So let's do it now. I'm just gonna say it real quick. We don't even have to discuss. If y'all know, if y'all have been following us with our Usual Suspects N7 review, we just talked about it. We have to separate the art from the artist because Kevin Spacey's in a lot of movies, but that does not mean we shouldn't review those movies because Curtis Hanson did a great job, Russell Crowe did a great job, Guy Pearce did a great job, Brad Pitt did a great job, Morgan Freeman, and so on and so on. We do not want to take away from other people who made this great movie. So when we talk about Kevin Spacey, it may be in positive, but it's about the acting performance. It's not about the man himself. Fuck Kevin Spacey and everything that he did to those people, and prayers to the victims. But we're just talking about the role and separating the art from the artist. Now we can continue on. Any other background we have is LA Confidential was a critical and commercial success. It grossed 126 million against a 35 million budget. Ooh, that's a big win. 126 mil on 35 mil budget. It basically almost like quadrupled its money. Like shit did crazy. Like that is awesome. Almost doubled it at least. With praise for the acting, writing, directing, editing, and Jerry Goldsmith's musical score. It was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, winning Best Supporting Actress for Basinger, winning Best Adapted Screenplay. Titanic won every other award. So let's talk about it. Shuby, look, this movie, I'm going to be honest, this movie could have won Best Picture. Titanic didn't deserve it. Like, not at all.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it's better than it.
Yeah, sure. And like the other movies are As Good as It Gets, The Full Monty, Good Will Hunting. The Good Will Hunting's the only one that I could say, all right, Good Will Hunting maybe should have won Best Picture over Titanic too. But to me, it's LA Confidential. And you could even bring in Jackie Brown, which didn't get nominated, which is a crime.
It's honestly a pretty good year. I mean, all of those movies are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that any of the men should have been nominated for Best Leading Actor or Best Supporting? Let me give you Best Supporting.
Nominated, sure.
Yeah, I agree with nominated. You can't beat Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting for Best Supporting. Like, Robin Williams killed it. I'm not going to argue for someone over Robin Williams. Robert Forster got nominated for Jackie Brown. But for me, Greg Kinnear, as good as it gets, I could have nominated Kevin Spacey for this because Kevin Spacey was phenomenal in supporting.
Well, it also depends on like a movie like this that's so ensemble.
Oh, it's like who's the supporting?
Yeah. So like, you know,
DeVito could have been nominated
for support. I would put Bud White
over
Russell Crowe. If I'm given like, you know, an acting hierarchy here, I think it was Russell Crowe, especially for that being like his really big.
You don't think he was the lead?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, let's see who shows up first.
I see it as Heat to me. Like, I see it as Russell Crowe is De Niro, Guy Pearce is Pacino, and Kevin Spacey is what's our boy's name? Val Kilmer. I see it just like Heat. Like, and I feel like Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce are the leads. Who's first on IMDb?
Kevin Spacey.
For real? Yeah. Jack Vincennes is not the lead. Like, can we agree on that?
He was the first name in the closing credits too,
and he's the biggest face on the picture on the poster besides Kim Basinger. Which
is probably why he was first.
Yeah, but both of them are not the leads. They're just the biggest named people at the time.
Right.
Yeah. Like this is Bud White in Eggles's movie. Like, look who died first.
Yeah, but you know, props to Kim Basinger for winning supporting because Julianne Moore easily could have won that.
I was about to say she didn't deserve it.
I mean,
she was good, but she wasn't that good.
Julianne Moore and Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights was incredible.
Yeah. So.
Also, why wasn't Boogie Nights nominated for Best Picture? That's a crime as well. Like, what the hell?
Good question.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody wants to give Mark Wahlberg's fake dong an award.
I'm about to look. I'm gonna add Boogie Nights to the list, like that we do after this, because Boogie Nights has to be on there. That's like a Paul Thomas Anderson movie that we have to review more so than anything. But that's pretty much all the background. Schubert, do you have any casting what ifs?
Really only that Russell Crowe. They weren't sure if he was going to be able to do the accent. He was going to be too Australian, so that
because this was very
supposed to be cast in that role.
Shit. I would love Sean Penn in this role. He would kill it. Like, he would go there. Like, fucking Wind River. I mean, not Wind River.
I don't know if Sean Penn brings the physical imposingness of Bud White that Russell Crowe does. Because like Russell Crowe makes Bud White kind of look like a scary figure.
Yeah,
Sean Penn could bring that.
And Russell Crowe makes it like, okay, this is why he beats ass. But have you seen Mystic River, Schubert?
Yes.
Okay, Sean Penn in Mystic River is pretty physical.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also short. And I still don't know if he could be like as imposing. Like, I don't know if I could buy him as the enforcer.
That's fair. He brings the intensity, but to your point, it would have to be like him using a gun and bashing people's head in. Like, he would have to use a weapon, and that's not Bud White. So, good point. Good point. But Sean Penn, I like that. Also, here's something for you as well, Shuby. Here's not a casting would have, but a sequel would have. In October of 2020, Brian Helgeland confirmed that the sequel to LA Confidential had been in active development before the death of Chadwick Boseman, who would have played the young cop named James Munchie. Crowe and Pierce would have reprised their roles. They would have been older members in the force, and the film would have been set in 1974 following a black cop dealing with the race riots and whatnot and all of that. That would have been interesting.
They could still do that. I don't know why Chadwick Boseman dying has anything to do with that.
I guess he was the lead, but like to your point, like cast someone else, bro. Like go get John David,
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, exactly. Like let's go get one of the or Daniel Kaluuya, one of the best black actors out. Like legit.
I think Daniel Kaluuya would be good at that.
Yeah, I think Daniel Kaluuya would kill him. To me, my front runners for this would be Daniel Kaluuya, John David Washington, or Dark Horse, the guy starring in Mike. I'm blanking on his name.
Trayvon Rhodes.
Yeah, Trevante Rhodes.
Trevante Rhodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or even John Boyega. This would be a good John Boyega role.
Right. So, bring that back.
Yeah, let's make that happen. Ian, how do you feel about that sequel?
Oh, here, real quick before you say that, there was a LA Confidential TV series that they were thinking about doing. And most of the people that were going to be cast in that pilot ended up being in like a TV movie in 2003 that had Kiefer Sutherland starring as Jack Vincennes.
Oh shit! I don't know. I don't know. You think Kiefer's suave enough?
It's out there.
Okay, I might need to watch it.
It's a 47. Have you watched? It's a 47-minute TV movie.
I have watched 24, but I would want Kiefer to be Bud.
Right.
See, that would be really good too, honestly.
Like, I think Kiefer's a better Bud than Jack. Jack Vincennes is like, I'm suave. I'm like, to me, if you want to cast,
pull that off too.
If you want to cast an actor today to play Jack Vincennes, like, I'm trying to think of like a white actor who has that type of charisma, that swagger, like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna pull the wool over your eye. Like, I don't think it's Robert Pattinson. I think Robert Pattinson's too aggressive. I think
Ryan Gosling?
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Cause like driver's too aggressive as well. Like Gosling, I mean not Gosling. Gyllenhaal is too aggressive after seeing him in Prisoners, and like Ryan Reynolds is too funny. Like he's too much Ryan Reynolds stick. It's Gosling, 100% from The Nice Guys. Bring that comedy. Good call, Ian. Love that. Maybe even a Chris Evans too, because Chris Evans showed he could do a little bit of comedy as well.
Well, you know who's missing out on a big opportunity for this, and I don't know why they haven't done it. Why is there not an Always Sunny episode with
about
Glenn
this?
Howerton as Jack Vincennes, Mac as Bud White, and Charlie
as X.
Yeah.
And you gonna have fucking
and
D is Dudley.
No. D's the hooker.
Yeah, Kim Basinger.
Yeah. And then Mac the whole time's like, I don't want to fuck you. I don't want to fuck you. And that's the thing.
And then Charlie definitely fucks her.
Yeah. You're right. That's a missed opportunity. They need to do that.
They can still do it.
Yeah, they can.
You should write them about that.
You definitely should, Schubert. Like 100%.
Write a spec script, Schubert.
Right.
But that's pretty much all of the background. Let's get into
the gang gets confidential.
Yeah, the gang gets confidential.
and it's all black and white.
Yeah, it's all black and white. It's noir. It's all noir, and it literally is basically them doing LA Confidential.
Well, they did do The Janitor Always Smiles twice.
They did, but that was super noir.
That was a different movie.
That was like Chinatown.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what this is, right?
Nah, sorta. This is like anti-Chinatown.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, but let's get into the scene rundown. Oh yeah, I started off. That's the first thing I wrote down. It starts with Danny DeVito, who sets up the movie so well with the monologue. Keep it hush hush. You don't realize how important the monologue is until you rewatch this film, because everything that is explained about the Italian hitman is so important to why there's a vacuum of power in LA right now and why all of this shit is happening.
Well, and it's like something that you have to remember about, because I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh shit!" There were all those people who are getting murdered, and like what? And like who's? Why was that so important in the beginning of the movie? Like why did we spend so much time with that? And then because it all circles back.
Yep, yeah. Because the cops killing all of them fuckers. Like them dudes was rolling, and you see it. Oh, I'm gonna wait, because there's a point in the movie where you see where I thought back to the opening scene of like, oh shit. They're killing these people, and I'm gonna tell you the scene that I thought. The next thing. Oh, Ian, anything on the opener you got?
Oh, it was wonderful. The second I heard Danny DeVito's voice, I was hooked.
Keep it hush hush. I love that. That's his fucking magazine. It
He's
just
such
works.
a scumbag,
and he plays it perfectly.
The one thing I thought was really funny in the beginning was like Kevin Spacey's one of his first lines are like, "America isn't ready for the real me," and I said, "Facts, Kevin Spacey."
Yeah, bro. And then, bro, when Kevin Spacey's like, doing all that shit with Matt and like how he's remorseful. I was like, you fake fuck. I was just thinking of all this shit he did in real life. I was like, you're the person that is doing this to Matt right now, you fucker. But anyway, the next thing I wrote down is Russell Crowe stops domestic disturbance. That's a huge arc to his character. We need to know that going forward. Because the scene with Kim Basinger, that it just shows like how broken he is when that happens, because the entire movie he is so anti against domestic abuse, domestic violence, because of what happened to his mom.
Yeah.
So next scene I wrote down is we meet Jack Vincennes and Sid at the Christmas party, and you just get to see their relationship, and it's just like, Danny DeVito, you fucker. All for some weed.
Yeah, I mean, this shows where Vincennes is like a bad cop. He exploits people to get his collars,
so he can get paid.
And so he can get paid and stay in Hollywood.
Yep, exactly. So he can perpetrate this life and be the what is it? The consultant to the TV show. Yeah, right. 100%.
Well, like, you guys know this, both being news guys yourselves, but that is the exact opposite of how the police and the media are supposed to function. Yeah. Like,
that's a big no-no.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we call the police from the TV station, we have like public records and things about when accidents happen or shootings or whatever the case may be, so we could send somebody out there. But most of the time they're like, yeah, we're not telling you shit. Like, look for our report tomorrow morning. So, and they don't say anything until someone's been charged. Meanwhile, Jack Vincennes is like, yeah, come outside the house and like take pictures of me when I walk in and arrest these people, let alone like wait the 24 hours that it takes to process and like recommend charges. And then the prosecutor's office is the one that actually puts the charges out. So then you got to wait on those people too. So like, none of this is supposed to function this way at all. So that right there just sets up his whole corruption.
It shows how it's a different era, because to your point, Ian, that shit doesn't happen. Like, even the idea of a detective having an insider in the media, bro, I don't know anywhere in my city or anyone in my city who has that connection in media. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if in your town, do like some reporters have a rapport with specific detectives? Like, I feel like that's fake.
No, I mean, there's definitely reporters at our station who have rapport with certain police departments or certain.
But they're not getting inside info like how this movie shows, or how all movies
I don't
in the
want
90s.
to say too much, but like sometimes they'll say, hey,
true.
Watch out for this press release about such and such. But like, there's certain things that you can do with like media embargoes and shit like that. So like legally we can't release it until a certain time or a certain date, but they're not calling us up and being like, yeah, there's a shooting, come on down and like make us look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, no, 100%. Like, that's just not happening. But okay,
no, not at all. We'd all lose our jobs.
Oh, for sure. The next thing I wrote down is we meet Ed Exley at the cop Christmas party, and now we've met the third member of this triumvirate, and we see how if Bud White is morally on the left, Vincent is in the middle, at Exley is all the way on the other side of like, I'm trying to be the perfect cop, and he shows that early in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's his whole shtick right from the beginning, is like, I'm you guys do it your way, I'm gonna do it my way, try and do it the clean way, and like, we'll see who gets farther.
Yep, exactly. Like Schubert said, he's a butt kisser, corporate ladder climber upper. So yep. The next thing I wrote down is, bro, Dudley shows he's so dirty in the beginning by asking Exley would he plant evidence, shoot people, and do all that other dirty shit. Otherwise, he doesn't think he should be a detective. I said that just shows how corrupt these guys are in like literally not even 15 minutes into the movie. If the captain can do all of this.
Yeah, he's basically saying like, he's basically saying like, if you're not corrupt, then you can't be a detective. So
because you got to play ball. You got to either get down or lay down.
I took it as like Dudley himself is not necessarily corrupt. He just knows that detectives can be corrupt.
Ah,
So
okay.
if this guy's not willing to put up with that, then he shouldn't work there because it's either going to frustrate him or he's going to quit or he'll end up
True.
having to rat on his partner or any of those kind of things. I looked
You,
at it more of like a, hey man, let me help you out. Like
first
I
time
know how this
watching, I
goes.
see,
You don't want any part of this.
I
First time
see,
watching, I thought that too.
exactly. I thought the same thing. I thought he was just like, he knows what the other cops entail, and he doesn't want him to get hurt because he was his dad's partner. I thought the exact same thing. This time, I was like, look at that fucking scumbag.
I'm telling you right up front.
Like right early in the movie. So the next thing I wrote down after that is Bud White meet. Oh no. Wait, wrote skip some shit. Oh no, this is right. Bud White meets Pierce Paget picking up booze, but doesn't realize the driver is the former corrupt cop Meeks.
Right. Well, I thought they did talk about that. How he was like,
They did, but they didn't know like all the stuff that we find out about Meeks later. Like Stins
Well,
is
I
just
thought-
like he was a cop. That's what Stins said.
right. Right. I thought that Stans plays that off so well, knowing what happens at the end.
Everything that Stins does is like you can see it. Like even when he sees that girl and he's looking at her, like his eyes are like, "Oh shit, I know her. Let me zone. Let me look away." Like I don't know if you was watching Stins when Bud is looking at the girl and you see him from behind. They do one shot where it's like girl this way, Bud Stins behind, and Stins is looking all sketch like, "Ooh, let me like not try to show that I know this bitch."
Any of these people.
Yeah, he knew all of them. Exactly. So the next thing I wrote down after that is Sid and Jack catch actor Tammy and Matt for smoking pot. SMH, Jack Vincennes. SMH.
Yeah,
catching
okay.
dude for smoking pot, bro, and locking that man away. Like SMH. And the big floodlight on him. I was just like, come on, Jack.
Dude, it was the 70s. Ain't nobody supposed to be smoking pot. In the
Nah,
70s.
it might be
earlier than that.
it's
It's like the
earlier than that.
30s.
It's like the 50s, I thought.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right. It
50s,
was
that was it.
what, like 53?
Yeah, hold on.
Something
I'll
like
tell
that.
you. I'll tell you
It
exactly.
Oh,
was,
that's
it was
even
earlier than that. It
worse.
was close to 60s. It was like a 58.
No, 53. Right away. Right on the money. Yep.
That's like post World War II. Like everybody's supposed to be like the perfect family, like Reconstruction
Pre-hippie movement.
era nonsense.
Yep.
When like, Leave It to Beaver was like the ideal family.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Ain't
Like
nobody supposed to be smoking pot.
we're right at the height. Like the civil rights era is about to begin, and the hippie movement is about to begin, which will change America. These are like the bubbling undertones that set all that up. Oh, but
Yeah, in my notes I said this was not a PC time.
no, not at all, bro. This time sucked for people like me, for people like Schubert's mom. This is the time where Ian would thrive. The white man ruled the world at this
I
time.
just got to get me a pair of overalls, and I'm going straight to the top, baby.
Right.
I'm gonna be police chief by the end of the week.
And have you some nice cigars with some scotch. Oh yeah,
The
my
Cubans,
boy.
baby. The Cubans.
Back when you could get Cubans. Real shit.
Yeah, freshly imported.
Yeah. Next thing I wrote down after that is but Jack Vincennes finds the fleur de lis, which is important. Now everybody's back at the Christmas party, and we see the Mexican people get arrested, and then all of a sudden Stins and the other cops are like, fuck this, we're going down there, and boom, a brawl ensues. Jack Vincennes tells Bud White to go save his partner. Bud's gonna do that at first, but like Schubert said, he has anger issues, so that the Mexican criminal, or the Mexican guy who just says some shit to him, forces him to start punching him, and then Vincennes, being the shallow guy that he is, gets a little blood on him. He's like, fuck, you mess up my suit, now I'm gonna beat your ass. And then they lock fucking Exley in the fucking cell. That all of that is just paints the picture of who these guys are so well.
Yeah, I think what's key to that is there's conversations that are being heard where like somebody's talking about like what happened with this, and then there's somebody who says something where it's like, oh yeah, it really wasn't that big of a deal, and then you get to the other conversation with all the drunk cops, And they're like, oh yeah, they almost beat them to death or
Yep.
whatever. And so
And
like, it's just
yeah,
like
they said it was
this game of
basically like
telephone.
it was like a something like just an argument, like just like a verbal argument. And then like by the time you get to Stins, they're like, oh, he tried to kill him. Like just some fuck shit. Anything to
Yeah,
excuse
it's like guys
the
getting
beating of those
rights
people.
right now.
Yeah, man, that shit was crazy. So okay, so the next thing I wrote down after that is Stins in the other. Okay, so
I have Guy Pearce trying to force dudes into retirement, making paramedics.
yeah, okay, so boom. That goes into what I said. The mayor and the DA start to question cops to snitch, but Bud White denies it. However, Exley is like, fuck yeah, got him.
Call in Jack Vincennes and tell him that he can't be a celebrity
What a fucker. Like,
consultant now.
oh my gosh. I was like, you are so brilliant in how to kiss ass and climb up the ladder that you were like, I know how to hurt Jack Vincennes. I might not know how to hurt Bud White, but you see with Jack, take away that TV show, his ass is done. And Jack surely snitched.
Kick these dudes into retirement, and then what you want? I want to be detective.
Yep. And then fucking Dudley's like, are you sure about this, boyo? And he's like, yeah. And the mayor's like, I like you, son, but stop wearing them glasses. I was Ian, as someone who wears glasses, that made me feel so fucked up. I was like, what's wrong with glasses? I can't fucking see, you assholes.
Well, and like, goddamn, man, I can't even. They don't even have contacts back then. It's like, what do you want me to do? It's either this or
be
I wreck
blind.
my car driving.
And I miss people when I shoot. Like, Exley's asked to shoot a gun.
Yeah, it's either this or my paperwork looks like fucking chicken scratch from now on.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, okay, so the next thing I wrote is, like Schubert said, Exley tells them exactly how to get Vincennes to snitch. Exley then gets promoted to detective lieutenant. He not just detective lieutenant. He up there. So then Dudley gives Bud White back his badge and gun. But I want to ask y'all, this is are we sure, but not a negative are we sure? Are we sure that the mayor and the DA knew that Bud White was getting his badge back and was really a cop? Or was this just him being Dudley's personal hitman?
I took that
think
immediately
everyone
as, yeah, you took it as everyone knew? Oh, no, I took it as
interesting.
this is Dudley going rogue.
See, at the first time I watched it, I thought what you said, Schubert, that everyone knew. Second time, I thought it was maybe Dudley going rogue. Like, I thought this was his plan.
Yeah, man, you don't give someone their gun and badge back at a fucking diner under a newspaper. You give it to them in your office. Like, this is the definition of I'm trying to hide what I'm doing right now. I'm literally hiding it under this newspaper.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And then the symbolism of hiding it under a newspaper, the things that's supposed to tell like the truth to people, and you're using the truth to, hide exactly what you're doing. I think that's beautiful symbolism. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Ian. He ain't tell nobody.
Yeah, at that point I was like, all right, Dudley's doing some fuck shit. We just gotta see what.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I wrote after that, I'm glad we discussed that because that was something I wrote down. So but he gives him the badge back to be an enforcer rather than to beat info out of people. Jack is forced to work with Vice as his punishment, and then Jack starts to say, maybe I should look into this Fleur de Lis. So this is the start of all of that. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Stins gets arrested and refuses to hang out with Bud because he has a hot date, aka he's going to die.
Right.
Yep, we're getting the night owl. So boom, we're now to the night owl scene, which is like, yo, and Dudley oh no, go ahead.
So like, the lead up to the night owl, you have Ed. He's in there, and he's the only
cop
goes
there.
home, and
Yep.
he's the only cop there, which I think is not something that was expected.
Yep, they did not
he gets
expect
the
him
call.
to answer I wrote that down, Schubert. He was not supposed to be the person to answer the call.
So he answers the call and goes out there, and there's people already out there.
And that's where Dudley's like, no, I'm the person taking over. And Ed was like, no, you have to follow protocol. I took the call. So Dudley was just like, fuck it. You're going to be the second in control, because Dudley thought he could still have some sort of control over the situation.
Right.
No, 100%. That was one of those things that I was like, ooh, this one, and then the next major one that happens, they didn't expect Exley to be there.
I love how they shoot him walking into the murder scene too, and like sets it up with all the bodies in the bathroom. I thought that was really cool.
Super gory, and it was just like, oh man, this is some crazy shit went down here. So
well, it was great camera work. Like, sorry, you don't like, they don't just show the whole scene. Like, it shows him like literally just his hand on the door, and then a close up of his face, and then the camera kind of widens out as he walks forward. And then you see more and more of the scene as he goes on. So you're kind of experiencing it in real time like he would be if he were just looking around the room, which I thought was
really well done.
Yeah, no, it was.
Really good stylistic choice.
100%. No, y'all are absolutely right. The next thing I wrote down after this is Stins dies, and Dudley doesn't want to make Exley lead detective, like Schubert said. Dudley then blames random black men for this crime, and lo and behold, he was only covering for himself. Dudley has shown himself to be one of the most racist, corrupt cops out there. LOL. That's what I wrote down. Just putting it on the brothers.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like, they go right in and they go after these guys. And I'm thinking to myself, of course. Like, they just start turning on
the black guys.
Well, yeah, like, of course, the first description is, 3 black men were seen near the
same thing happens with Jack Vincennes with Echo Park. They were like, it's either like a black or brown person. Be on the lookout for one of them. And Exley at that point is like, oh, you're just fucking lying.
Yeah.
It's like, so this is the start of that. So then after that, I wrote down, because I think there's some big shit that happens because of this.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because I can take you through the. So like, what's his name? Exley gets with Vincennes, and Vincennes like, I got a lead on this. Let's go. And
they go get the snitch.
Again, not something that Dudley expects, is that Vincennes has a guy who's going to tell him the right info because he has leverage on him, and he's like, yeah, we'll get your brother out of jail soon. Looking at Exley, no, he won't.
Yep.
No, he won't.
Exactly.
But so they get to the scene and there's already people there, and like, if it wasn't for Vincennes and Exley showing up there, they would have just blown
them away. And that was something that I noticed. It's like right when Vincennes walks on the scene and he has the shotgun, it was like he was ready to shoot. If he doesn't realize it's Exley and Vincennes, that person is gone no matter who they are. As long as they're not a cop, that person was going to die because they just had planted those shotguns.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of that was planted. And they were just getting ready to go in there and just execute everyone. The girl included. It didn't matter.
This whole thing just reminds me of the Dave Chappelle sketch where they have the cops and they're like, just sprinkle some crack on them and let's get out of here.
But you know what it reminded me of, Schubert and Ian? Schubert, and I said Schubert because I don't know if you saw this, Ian, but Judas and the Black Messiah, Fred Hampton dying at the end, where they just burst into his house and just kill everybody. It makes me think of Breonna Taylor as well. Rest in peace. So all of this brought up all of that. So the next thing I wrote down.
Damn, I brought up Dave Chappelle and you brought up Breonna Taylor. Now I just feel like an asshole.
No. But I'm glad you brought up the comedy first, but I took it to a real place. Like it actually happened though.
The next thing after that is the interview, which I thought was, which is next to my notes. How the interview scene was
the Seth Rogen
acting.
No. Did you say
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to compare this to the...
No, the scene with Guy Pearce interviewing those guys. Amazing acting. Just like the way that he goes through to each person and like gets them to, talk and make the other guys say more, and that one dude pee in his pants. It was wild.
Yeah, no, 100%. But real quick, before all of that, did we mention about how White went to go see Paget, and then Bud White goes to the prostitute and sees the councilman there? Because that's important. I don't know if we mentioned that. That's before the 3 black men situation happens, for sure.
Oh yeah, because he went to the liquor store guy.
Yep, he went to the liquor store.
This is right after this.
Is it
right after this? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I wrote it down.
Stalking the prostitute.
Okay.
Because he goes, because yeah, so like we get the
Oh yeah, because they escape.
The
This is when they
interview.
all start to go look. Yeah, no, you're right.
right.
So yeah, we get
And
the
so-
interview. Dude pisses his pants and all of that, and it was an excellent thing. He got the middle guy to just give him up.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, Crow did go and talk to.
He did to Paget
pimp.
first. Yeah, the pimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did go talk to Paget, and he met the lady for the first time. Because after this, that's where he does the stalking stuff. So real quick, let's just talk about this. So okay, so I wrote down that Jack Vincent and Eggley go their own paths. They find the snitch, which you mentioned, while Bud White does the same, but he goes to the liquor guy, then to Paget, and then to Kim Basinger's, and he sees the councilman there, but then he goes to talk about the murder of the Night Owl, and the councilman doesn't realize he's a cop and was like, I'll get him out of here. And he was like, bitch, he was like, oh shit, let me get out of here. Let me run. And dude was drinking straight scotch, like straight scotch on the rocks. I was like, I wrote down, what's y'all's favorite alcohol that you can drink straight? Is there any alcohol you can drink straight just by itself?
Beer.
Nah, I
Beer.
need liquor. No. We do it liquor.
The only thing that I drink straight is tequila.
I was about to say, Schubert,
And
that's what I
only
could
do
do.
it in shots.
I could do tequila straight as well. I don't need the lime. I can do it just straight.
Oh, you
Ready to
guys are
go.
psychos.
I can
Tequila
do
is the worst.
it.
in my
Gin is the
heyday-
worst. Gin is
In my
nasty.
heyday, I would go to every bar and I would start with tequila. You've seen this. I would go to the bar. I would get a tequila shot and a beer. That's
Yep.
how I go to every bar.
That was his wave. But nah, bro, gin is the worst, Ian. I can't drink gin straight. Gin is medicine. Like gin is
That's
like
fair. Gin is a close second worst for me.
tequila's the
Actually-
worst for real.
No, that's a lie. I really also hate Fireball and Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey.
Those are just
Oh,
nasty.
bad.
I had terrible experiences with both of those. But
Those just make my stomach hurt. It's not that
Those are
I can't drink
throw-up
them straight.
machines.
Yeah, they're just too much sugar in them. It makes you want to throw up.
I could drink bourbon on the rocks, but I drink it real slow.
That's me with Hennessy.
Same.
I can put Hennessy on the rocks as well. But this man drinking
Mm.
scotch, that's basically that's whiskey. So that's
At what, like 3 in the afternoon?
yeah, he was getting ready. He was getting saucy so he could get his fuck on. He was ready, bro. Dude was fucking
All I
ready to
knew-
go.
All I know about that scene is Kim Basinger's setup did not seem very time appropriate. Like her with that projector and like that with the projector screen that pulled down in the middle of her room. I was like, nobody in the 1950s has this.
Yeah, no.
Like, maybe the projector, but like the pull down projector screen in the
Fuck
middle of
no.
the room.
Well, I mean, hey, Pierce Paget bought it for her, so like maybe. But no,
Maybe.
to your point, that is definitely an Are We Sure? Okay, so now this is where we get to what Schubert was talking about how those cops are ready to shoot and kill. They didn't expect Vincent's and Eggley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
And then-
guys escape. And
Yep.
Russell Crowe goes after the guy.
Yeah,
Or,
Russell. Yeah, Russell Crowe and Eggley.
He goes in there and he sees, and he sees the girl up on the bed or whatever. And so he's like, well, I'm killing this guy.
Yep, and kills him instantly and sets him up. But real quick, before that, when to find out where the cop is, when Russell Crowe just barges in after he's so strong that he breaks a fucking chair. Are we sure? Like, dude's so mad that he broke the fucking chair and then
Yeah.
goes in, puts the gun in dude's mouth, and it's like, all right, Russian roulette. I was like, talk about corruption. Like, Eggley, you stop multiple things, but what if this dude actually shoots him and his head explodes in the fucking cop thing? Like, that would be terrible. But because he's black in 1953, it wouldn't have fucking
They
mattered.
would have covered it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But still, bro, that is crazy that just fucking happened. But to your point, like you said, that's where he goes, and Dudley's like, nah, Eggley, he's going in alone because he's going to get the kill. because Dudley didn't want Eggley to talk to him because they would have found out that it was not about the fucking about the owl night. They'd have found out that it was the truth about this girl who just got raped, and she lied and said she was at the owl, but she escaped. So, but that happens,
So,
and they
so
kill the
Russell
people.
Crowe saves her.
Yep.
And then she tells everyone that, they left at this certain time that makes it seem like they were at the Night Owl.
Yep.
And then Exley goes after them and gets in a shootout.
Yep. Eggley,
And lives.
Eggley fucking crossed the line, and the kid who pees knocks a bottle over. So the trigger happy cop then shoots and then fucking ends up dying. and Eggleston kills everyone. Eggleston just goes on shotgun spree, baby. Bow, bow, bow. But it all happened because that trigger happy cop who was ready to. I feel like, let me ask you, Schubert, because when he looked, do you think he was gonna kill Eggsy? Like, because the way he was looking was like, oh, you want Vincennes? Oh, I'm gonna come help you. Like, I feel like his job from Dudley was to kill Eggsy if it was possible in that moment, because he was too hyped to go with him.
Probably.
And that was one of the corrupt dudes. That was one of the things I thought about in that moment as well. Ian, how did you feel about that? Do you think the guy
if he found something out? Because like I feel like if they would have gone in there and he would have survived the shootout, I don't think he would have shot because he wouldn't have known anything.
Yeah, no. I'm saying if the guys would have, if the guys wouldn't have shot anything and they would have started talking, I feel like that dude would have just executed everybody because he was too hyped to go with them. Because he was like, "Where's Vincennes?" He was like, "Oh, you don't need him. I'll come with you." He was too hyped to go with him. Do you remember that scene? Ian?
Yeah. Where he and the other cop go in.
Yeah, they go into
4 dudes in the room.
Yeah, it's those 4 black guys, and the little kid who peed himself drops the bottle, and then that dude just starts spraying, and he ends up dying, fucker.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because the whole impetus of him shooting is the bottle dropping. So like he could have just been like spooked and had like honest intentions. Is he one of the?
I thought he was
quote unquote Dudley's henchmen guys?
I thought he was one of the guys who put the shotgun. That's why I was even more so.
He's not the same guy?
No, it is the same guy. He is,
It is the same. Okay, yeah. Then that makes sense that he wanted to go with him. So he was basically at that point, I guess, just looking for a reason to start firing.
Yep, and just to kill everybody
and
involved.
Then the glass.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, the glass gave him that opportunity.
Yep. So the next thing I wrote down is showing that even cops who try to do the right thing still get caught up. And that's why they play that sad song when they go through the montage of showing all of them. It was like, even though Eggsley's getting this award, it's still sad because he realized, damn, he killed all these people, and he doesn't know if that is a good thing or not. But Jack Vincennes back on the TV show and working with Sid. Bud is stalking the prostitute like a fucking creeper, and Paget gets that councilman due to him fucking his hoe. That's all the montage shit that I wrote down. But that dude just at her house stalking her ass. What a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, it was weird.
Just go inside. And Paget got that. It just shows that what Hush Hush is. It starts to show like how Sid and Paget are partners for these to run LA using these smut photos.
Yeah.
I did write down. I Shazam the song that was playing during that montage because that shit was going hard.
Yeah, it was. That was a good song.
It's called Wheel of Fortune. It's by Kay somebody. I don't remember her last name, but it was like an old 50s record. I'm really into that kind of shit, so I'm always like looking for.
That's
like
a good
during
sample.
all the old mafia movies, I Shazam a lot of those songs too.
Look, man, that's some of the best blues and jazz out, like real shit. So I don't blame you. So, okay, so the next thing I wrote down after Paget gets that councilman due to him fucking his hoe, all the corruption led to the land control and really the drug control due to the Italian mob boss falling off. That's what the Paget thing showed me. It was like, oh, there's a hole in the vacuum of power in LA that we heard in that speech. So that tied me back to that. And then the next thing I wrote after that is Jack meets Matt again with Sid and tries to get him to sleep with the DA. Fuckers.
Yeah. The guy from The Mentalist.
Danny DeVito. Yeah, that is The Mentalist. Danny DeVito was being such a scumbag in that scene.
Danny DeVito is the worst in this movie.
It's like, man, we're going to get you a role on the show.
Mm-hmm. And Jack has no control over that. He was like, Jack got you. Jack runs that show. Jack don't run shit.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll figure it out. It was the same bit that Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce pull on the black kid in The Hood.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, don't worry, dude. We'll figure something out for you.
Jack Vincennes and Guy Pearce, not Bud White, because they're not friends yet.
You're right. Yeah. My fault.
Yep. But no, you're absolutely right.
Danny DeVito came about as close as he could to playing Frank without actually playing Frank. Like
Yeah.
this Sid is basically just Frank, except in the 1950s.
That's what
and a
the low
journalist.
key. I could believe that's what Danny DeVito tapped back into just to get Frank going again. Like when he first started.
He's always scheming, man.
Mm-hmm. And then so the next thing I wrote after that, after they do all of this, the mentalist ends up getting murdered.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
And then Exley finds out that the victim lied about them doing the night owl. So all of this is happening at the same time. So, and Bud White feels something is off about the night owl. So all three have something that makes them sketch out. Matt's murder for Vincennes, the girl telling Exley, and then Bud White just going in. What was he just reading documents essentially?
Kim
Or did the
Basinger
lady
was
tell him
kind of-
something?
but she was telling him, she was like, you're smart enough to figure this out. Like, if you feel like you have a bad feeling about it, you need to like look into it more.
Yeah, no, you're right. And then I wrote White figures out that girl who died was on a date with Stins, and her mom didn't trust Stins. That's when he goes to the house, and Bud finds a slew of dead bodies. I was wondering why that
Just
woman
one.
was trying to stop him
Just
from
one.
going. Oh, it was just one?
Yeah, it was just
Okay.
The old cop.
What's the guy's name?
Yeah, Meeks. You're right. You're right.
Meeks.
Yeah.
Do we think that woman
Bud.
knew that Meeks was there, or she just didn't
No.
want him to see the smell of that bad shit?
No, she didn't know.
She didn't try
Okay.
and stop him.
Yeah, she didn't. She was just saying things like, "Oh, why it
just a
smells
rat."
bad." Yeah, it's just a rat. Don't worry about that. I think she was just embarrassed about her house more so
Yeah.
than okay, cool. I was just making sure. Bud then finds out that Meeks is dead. Exley realized Bud is onto something, or that he's being corrupt. So he goes to the Lefferts, and then he receives, oh shit, dead body. Exley and Vincennes then talk about how the night owl is messed up and how something's fucked up. And then boom, Exley tells Vincennes one of the biggest plot points about Rollo Tomasi and his dad.
The one thing that we missed and glossed over that I just want to point out because it's funny is Bud White goes to talk to the mob bot, like the mobster.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, that's coming up. I wrote that down. That hasn't happened
really?
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no. That hasn't happened yet. I got you.
Because I
So
thought
my-
that's how he was led to the house.
No, that
Okay.
leads him to something
That's
else.
later.
But Rollo
Well,
Tomasi, super important.
My question is like, why? What's the, the impetus for them saying something's messed up with the night owl case? Like, how do they make that connection?
Well, okay, so it first happens
Well,
with
Exley knows
Exley finds out 'cause the woman tells him
witness
something.
lied.
yeah, the witness lied.
Ah, that's right.
And then Jack finds Matt's dead with the fleur-de-lis thing, so it's back to that. So then Exley tells him about the woman lying, and he was like, "Okay, if I help you with that, you have to help me with this Matt fleur-de-lis thing." And the thing with Bud White, like Schubert said, he was just talking to the woman and was like, "I don't feel right about this case. I don't feel right about Stins. Let me do some more research."
Okay, that makes sense.
So that was just all three of them.
Or I
their
think like she
motivation.
gives him like a little bit of inkling of information that she like knew who he was. Like
Yeah, something like that. Or like that Stins knew the girl, and that's where he
Something
starts
like
to
that.
investigate. One of those things is what happens. So then Exley like I said, he tells about Rollo Tomasi. They discuss why they become cops and how they should go about solving the night owl. But the only way Vincennes agrees is if they help solve Matt's murder. And then the next thing I write is Bud White then goes to see Johnny Stoppanato, who is a former hitman for the mob boss who went to jail and died, whichever one. I forget which one it is. I think he died. And
died, real
basically
person, I can tell you the story.
fucking smashed that dude's head in, baby. Bud White didn't give a fuck about Johnny Stompanato.
No.
So
Or
what
is
was the
Tiny
funny thing?
Stompanato.
What was the funny thing you want to say?
I'll say it after Exley comes to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the next thing I wrote down is
Wait.
Vince. Oh, go ahead.
I thought the scene where they're discussing why they became cops.
Oh,
I
one of the
thought
best
that
scenes.
was, I thought that was Kevin Spacey.
Important.
Fuck that guy. But I thought that was his best scene in the entire movie.
Yep.
Because you could see in his face that he knew what his reason was for becoming a cop,
but he didn't want to
but
say.
it was so painful or so embarrassing that he didn't want to say it.
Or he
And so
strayed
he's
so
like-
far from that path that he was embarrassed to even tell Eggsy what it was.
Yeah,
Either
so you're just
way.
like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
everybody else in this movie, which
knows.
I thought was kind of an "Are we sure?" Because like some people are just like, yeah, man, I didn't go to college. I don't have very many career options, so I became a cop. But everybody in this movie is like, oh, it all goes back to when I was 5 years old, and terrible thing happened to me and my family, and I just had to become a cop. And then he's just like, yeah, dude, I forgot. It's like, come on, guys.
Nah, you're lying. And he looked like he wanted to
you
cry.
know you got a reason.
Like after
Yeah,
he definitely looked like he wanted to cry. That scene, and there's one more that I marked for Kevin Spacey's best scene, but good call, Ian. So then the next thing is Vincennes and Eggsy then see Bud White with the prostitute. So Eggsy is like, nah, fuck this. We're going to Johnny Stoppanato, and then makes fun of Lana Turner, and fucking Vincennes is like, that's Lana Turner, bro.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Johnny Stompanato is a real person, and he really did date the real life Lana Turner.
Oh my gosh.
And Johnny Stompanato died because he was being abusive to Lana Turner, and Lana Turner's daughter stabbed him
Holy
and
shit.
got away with it.
Oh my gosh. Crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, that really happened.
Holy shit.
And the stabbing was ruled as justifiable homicide. So
Yeah,
the daughter didn't go
because
to jail.
because back in the Gap, like because the dude was abusive. Yeah, no 100% self-defense. There's actually a good documentary right now on Netflix that we're gonna talk about on Bros Who Binge next week that I was gonna bring up. I Killed My Dad. That's about a Baton Rouge person, a dude who's 17. His dad was abusive, took him from his mom when he was young, and like kid got fed up after the dad hit him and shot him. And like now they're trying to take him, not let him go to jail because the dad stole him from his mom when he was young. It was abusive, similar situation, like on how that girl got off. But interesting. But the next thing I wrote down is Eggsy then goes to see Paget with Vincennes. Paget then calls Sid at hush hush because he's like, fuck this, Eggsy, you're not threatening me. Vincennes goes to the coroner about Leland Meeks, and Eggsy goes to see the prostitute Brackens. Eggsy is so turned on, he makes out with her, and she tells him, fucking me isn't the same as fucking me and fucking Bud aren't the same thing. Thought that was a great quote. And I was like, but then even though she said that, I was like, well, bitch, you're still turned on. SMH, I never got why she did it, even though it was for Sid to take pictures and she was paid. But still, if you love Bud, why would you fuck Eggsy no matter what Paget and Sid tell you?
The first cut is
Right.
the deepest, man, and she's in love with the money.
That's exactly what it was. But I also think she was turned on by the fact that she was fucking Eggsy. She seemed it.
Definitely.
Like, because there was some sort of attraction that even when they leave and she's like, well, I know it can't happen with us. Enjoy the rest of your life. I'm going with Bud.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, I think she was definitely attracted to him, but she also says during her little monologue that he also, Pat, whatever this guy's name is,
Paget.
Paget, yeah. She's like, you forgot he also taught me how to fuck.
Yeah,
And so, like, obviously she knows what she's doing as far as like seducing men goes.
true.
So there's probably a little bit of attraction there, but like she was already pretty committed to the bit. So
yeah,
she
for
was
the
gonna-
money. No, 100%.
Yeah, she was gonna do what she had to do at that point.
No, you're right. And so then the next thing I wrote down is Jack then goes to see Dudley. Jack figures out the connection between Meeks, Stins, Paget, which is Dudley. Dudley tells him not to start doing the right thing, boyo, and then ask him, do you know about such? Does Eggsy know about such and such? He's like, no. And then, bow, turns around and shoots him. But then my favorite Jack moment, Jack with his final breath tells Dudley, leans in and is like, Rollo Tomasi, and then laughs and dies, which makes Dudley be like, ooh, Rollo Tomasi, what do they know? And I was just like, beautiful. And then the next scene, Dudley then is like, oh, we have to go find Vincent's murder. There's been some black and brown men in Echo Park. And then he stops Eggsy, who doesn't believe Vincent died in Echo Park anyway. And he tells him, hey, Eggsy, have you heard of Rollo Tomasi? And then the camera zooms in and Eggsy's like, fuck you killed Ben Sands. I was like, beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Right.
I was
Yeah,
like,
the
just
aha
great
moment.
writing.
another great stylistic choice with the cameras. 'Cause you
Yeah.
can kind of see, like, he keeps pretty much the same expression, but if you look at his eyes, they get like deer in headlights for like half a second, and then he composes himself
Yeah, because he
again.
didn't want to give it away. No, 100%. Good call, Ian. Because that to me, this moment of the movie, if this doesn't work, then the whole movie is flawed. Like the whole movie is fucked. This scene has to work for everything else to, and I thought it was just executed brilliantly. From the camera to the writing to the acting, like you said, the fact that he was like, "Oh, compose yourself, back in."
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful,
man.
beautiful.
Really good. It shows you how good of a cop he is at that point, because he can, even in the face that finding out the captain is a bad guy, he can keep it together and try and keep pursuing the case.
Yep. I then wrote Eggleston knows the truth. Dudley then is upset that White is figuring out stuff as well. So he was like, come on, man, still be my hitman, still be my enforcer. Come with me, White, get your head on the swivel. We're going to meet Sid from Hush Hush. And boom, they go meet Sid from Hush Hush. First thing Sid said is, hey man, Hollywood V is on the big train to adios. I was like, damn. I was like, what a fucking line. And then boom, he whatchamacallit, White starts beating him up. I go, I love DeVito. DeVito is just saying everything so well right now. Everything he's saying is just acted perfectly. And then I go, Dudley then shows White the pictures of Eggleston. White then takes off. Dudley then kills Sid. And Sid spills the beans that Paget, him and Dudley are partners that were trying to take over for whatever the Italian mob boss's name is.
Right.
So the next thing I wrote after that,
but like,
go
so
ahead.
Dudley's trying to get Bud to go kill Eggleston.
Yep, exactly, 100%.
And Eggleston gets a deserved ass whooping.
Well, first Bud goes to see the woman and he beats her ass. Like
Yeah.
he beats her
He
ass
does.
first. And that is why I wrote that. That's why I told y'all about the fucking the fact that he gets so upset when he hits women. He broke down and cried after because he knew he broke his core belief. And at that moment, Bud White is broken, and he would have killed Eggleston and wouldn't have given a fuck.
Exactly. Like, yeah, he had at that point he had become his father, and his life was essentially over.
Yep, and Eggleston has to like scream at him. It's like, Dudley wants you to do this. He set all this up, and then he just throws a chair out of the window. That's a are we sure? Just like when they hold the DA out the window, like, how are the people on the ground not saying something? Dude threw a chair out the window and was holding the DA, and people were definitely looking up. Like, I saw them on the ground looking up. Yeah, like, dude, what the fuck? But we'll get to that. Trust me, I wrote down something funny for that.
Russell Crowe as Batman?
do y'all have anything on this part? Ian, do you have anything on this section before I move
on? No, other than when Russell Crowe slaps that girl, I just heard Obi-Wan say, "You were the chosen one."
you were supposed to you're supposed to beat the dark side, not join it.
Exactly.
Good call, Ian. That's funny.
Thinking of Batman, when they went to go see DA Loeb, I kept thinking Commissioner Loeb.
Yeah.
I kept thinking they were saying Loeb. I was like, what is this, Batman?
That's funny.
All right, if we're doing the names right now, I just wanted to drink a Bud Light this entire movie.
Oh, Bud Light. That's funny too.
You guys didn't think of that immediately? I was like, Bud Light.
That's
no way,
Ian.
dude.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. I never thought of that.
Oh my god, dude!
And I've seen this
literally
movie like 5 times.
Time they said, "Oh, that's Bud White." I was like, "No shit." How much did they get for that sponsorship?
So the next thing I wrote down is Eggleston and White go to the DA for a warrant on Dudley. The DA says no. Bud White then kicks his ass for the warrant, and he was like, and then at the end, the dude is fucking balled up, teared up, crying, ready to go. I wrote, dude gets a swirly. Who the fuck gets a swirly and is like, oh yeah, I'm snitching.
Third graders,
bro, like what? And then they hang him over the side of the rail. Like that shit is crazy to me.
I thought for sure he was going to drop him. If you look at the way Russell Crowe's like struggling to hang on to this guy's ankle, I was like, oh, he's slipping through for sure.
Right.
And then I just
But he
love
did
the
not.
line of, I thought you knew this good cop, bad cop stuff. When the dude's just sitting there fucking in his ball about to piss himself. Shit is fucking hilarious. So the next thing is, I wrote down this for you, Ian. I said dude gets treated like fucking Suge Knight. They hung him out like Vanilla Ice. Remember when Suge Knight hung Vanilla Ice out the window? Shit was hilarious. That's what that made me think of. And I also wrote, would hate to drown in a toilet. Like how Budweiser was giving him the swirly. Like imagine if you're drowning with toilet water. My gosh, that would fucking suck.
And it's like your own personal toilet.
Yeah,
So
so you drowning in
Yeah.
your shit. So they found out that Dudley took over from Mickey Cohen from the DA, who pissed himself after the Suge Knight treatment. Paget got murdered by Dudley because that's where they go next. And then they're like, oh, well, fuck it. Now, Bud White is like, I know where we have to go, to the old motel. And they have the shootout between Dudley, Eggleston, White, and the rest of the cops. Eggleston and White pretty much beat up everybody until Dudley. Dudley then shoots fucking White so many times, side, leg, face. He gets him in the face one time, but White still stabs him in the back of his leg. Dudley then Eggleston then gets to pull the gun out on him, and he's like, come on, boyo, let's go to the front. And the whole time, Eggleston's like, should I shoot him? Should I arrest him? But at that moment, he was like, justice will not be served because they're still going to be corrupt. So he kills him so he could tell his own narrative of what happened because dead men tell no tales. That's 100% what I thought of the entire time. It was like, he's not going to let Dudley mess up the truth. He's going to kill him so he's control of the narrative.
well, and that was the third thing that you were thinking of at the beginning of the movie that he says to him is, are you willing to shoot a man in the back? Because
Yep.
you know he's not going to see justice when he goes to court.
Yep,
So
and he
it
fucking did it.
Came
As
through
he
at the
should've.
end, yeah.
And then, like, when they're
Mhm.
asking him all the stuff, he's like, do y'all want me to tell the world what really happened? Or are y'all going to do what I want? More of Schubert's corporate ladder climbing.
Yeah.
Dude turned that into like 6 medals.
Dude, the whole time he is just finessing the system over
Yep.
and over again.
And Bud White's like,
It's-
nah, I don't want none of this. I'm just dipping. Me and my lady leaving.
Bro,
Yeah, we're going to
Ian,
Arizona.
did you think Bud was dead?
I thought he
I
was the
did,
first
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
Is that,
But they
are we
didn't
sure
do
that
the
he said that he
classic,
survived? Because like medicine in 1953, I don't know if that's letting you survive 6 bullets.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, he definitely had like the Kanye wire through his jaw.
Oh, and that's
Uh,
like 1953 wired through his jaw. Like he might not have ever talked again.
Dude, it looked like, you know, the cord with like the big round thing on the end that you charge the Apple Watch on? It looked like they stuck one of those in his cheek, like trying to hold that
Dude,
shit together.
shit was so fucked, bro. But hey, at least he got Bracken taking care of him for the rest of his life. And I think Bracken inherited Paget's money.
Ooh.
You think so?
That's my headcanon. That like Bracken went to
So
Paget's
she
house
could open
and,
her store?
yeah, and she took all that money.
You think if a pimp named Slickback dies, he's leaving all his money to his bottom bitch?
No, but
Absolutely not.
I don't think Paget is a pimp named Slipback.
Oh god.
I think Paget's more of a businessman, and I think that, and not necessarily that he left it. I think the woman went to his house, and I think they took everything.
It's a pimp named Slickback. Say it with me now.
You've been watching a lot of Chappelle Show and Boondocks, huh? I can tell.
Yeah, man. Martin is next. I'm just working my way through Black Velvet.
Nice. Hey, enjoy it because it's great. We got to get Schubert to do that too because Martin is a fucking great show. But that's pretty much all the scenes I have. If y'all have any other scenes for the scene rundown, then y'all could say them now. If not, we'll get to best scene.
No, I'm good.
All right, let's get to best scene. My best scene is I wrote down when Jack died and tells Dudley Rollo Tommaso. That, and then I coupled that with Eggleston figuring out who that Dudley knows Rollo Tommaso. So I have that one chunk as my best scene because I think they tie in together. What you got, Ian? What you got, Schubert? Whoever wants to go first. I don't think
Go
Ian
ahead.
knows yet.
No, I mean, there's so many good
Yeah,
ones.
mine's the interview.
Okay, good call, Schubert. That's probably the best Eggleston moment. Like,
Wow.
because that's where he proves to the other cops, like, I am a good cop, because they were all questioning. Even Vincennes was like, should we let him do this interview? And Dudley was like, I'm sure he'll surprise you. And at that moment, I believe that's where Vincennes was like, all right, I'll be a partner with Eggleston because he's a good cop. I like that choice. What you got, Ian? Are you going with Vincennes' moment with them talking about why they chose to be a cop? Or are you going with something else?
That's a great one. I'm also partial to the Danny DeVito getting tortured scene because I think that's hilarious.
That's that. I feel like that's you. Honestly. Yeah.
The whole time I was waiting for like the James Bond torture scene where he's got no bottom on his chair and they're just like whacking him in the nuts with the long rope. I honestly thought that's what they were doing at the beginning when they were torturing the other guy.
We're not that what's the word? We haven't evolved
Sinister?
to that. Yeah, we haven't evolved to that level of torture yet in 1953.
Sophisticated?
Yeah, that's the word. We're not that sophisticated yet with our torture.
Yeah, give it 20 more years and they've been whacking that guy.
Okay, so cool. I like all of our scenes. Ian has the interrogation the torturing of Danny DeVito. Schubert has the Eggleston interrogation, and I have Rollo Tomasi, the conversation with Jack, and then in Dudley, and then Eggleston. Okay, cool. So let's do Best Actor. Who we got? As Danny Best DeVito. Actor? You going Danny DeVito? Look, if you want to go with DeVito, I'm fine with that.
No, I couldn't do that.
I'd probably say Russell Crowe. I think that his character development throughout the thing, and the fact that it's like his come up role. Like, I think if I look back into it, like I'm pretty sure I read this was his first
major American role.
Major American role.
Yep.
Which I think is a pretty big deal.
Look, I think to me, it's between him and Kevin Spacey. And I think there's been better Kevin Spacey performances than this, whereas this is one of Russell Crowe's best because you see his aggression early, but you see how he can temper it. And like, I think the scene where he slaps, what's her name? He slaps the prostitute, and then Miss Brackens, when he slaps Brackens, and then immediately after he starts crying. I think that showed his vulnerability in this. So not only do you get to see his power, but the ability to cry, the ability to be vulnerable. You saw everything in this role, more so whereas Kevin Spacey was just playing cool. I'm going with Russell Crowe as well.
I was going to say the same, honestly. I mean, he definitely has the widest range, I think is what we're getting at here of, different.
Whereas Guy Pearce and Kevin Spacey are very one note with their characters.
Yeah. Guy Pearce is basically just like straight and narrow.
Goody two shoes the whole time.
Off the ground. Yeah. And Kevin Spacey is just like, yeah, I'm here to line my pockets and get the hell out of here with my pension.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cool. So we all went Russell Crowe. Nice. All right. Let's do 6-man, which I think is easy. This is one of the easiest 6-mans we have to do because let's talk about it. Jack, Russell Crowe, Bud White, fucking Eggleston, the woman, Miss Bracken, and Dudley.
Yep.
That's the 5. So Danny DeVito, 6-man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I'm glad we're on the same page.
That is like 3 consensuses in a row for best performance, starting 5, and 6-man. I don't think that's ever happened in the history.
I don't think so either. It won't happen ever again, probably. It's just that this one is super, like, we understand this one. So
there's one time, folks at home, you picked a good episode to watch.
All right, let's do winner of the movie. The winner has to be Eggleston, right? Like, Eggleston got his promotions. He got Dudley out of there. Like, dude is now where he wants to be in his career.
Schubert's gonna say it was the hooker.
Look, she got Patch. If she got Patch's money, like, I think she fucking won.
Schubert, I knew it.
I was gonna say her, Bud White.
I thought he was gonna say Bud. I thought he was gonna say Bud White. Yeah,
well, he's alive.
So that means he won. That means he survived. And Eggleston won.
But I mean, like, Ian makes a good point.
Exit wound through the face. How did he win?
I mean, Lynn Bracken, she may not have the money.
If she got
Gonna
pageant
open
money,
up a
she'd
dress
win.
shop.
Yeah.
On the
God, you guys
border
are
of,
sick.
on the U.S. border of Mexico in this little small Arizona town, away from everything.
And she'll
got
have a
man.
lot of money. Yep. And she got her man. I'm not mad at it, Schubert. I'm not mad at
And
it.
she's gonna make $300 whole a year.
Nah, she making more than that. She got pageant money. And if she got to, she'll fall back on
You
selling her
don't know
pussy.
that. I have no idea whether she's got pageant's money. You're just
That's
making that
my
shit
head.
And she's got good business acumen.
She knows how to sell. Facts.
up.
She knows how to sell. Ian, who you got as
Yeah.
your winner?
Good with the cold calls. I mean, it's definitely Guy Pearce. Like,
Okay,
his
yeah, we're
whole
going with
bit
Exley.
The entire
Gotcha.
time was just like, I'm trying to get to the top, and then he got to the
And he got
fucking
to the
top,
top,
in 2.5
yep.
hours.
I'm with you. I'm going with you as well. Loser. Is Paget is Paget the loser? Is Sid the loser? It's not Dudley.
It's been Sens, man.
Well,
Oh yeah. Jack
dies
Vincent, he
and,
died
like,
early. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Fuck.
he was
It's
actually
been
trying to turn his life around at that
Yeah,
point.
he
right?
Trying to
was.
like
And
actually
right,
be a good cop for once.
right as he changed, bow, dead.
See ya.
Or alternatively, the DA.
Oh shit, yeah, because he pissed himself and he got
He
embarrassed.
pissed himself. He got embarrassed. He's probably fired. He probably
got a swirly.
outed.
Yep,
Probably
got outed as
outed.
gay. Yep, all of that.
Well, and all he did was like have sex with another dude, and then like refuse to take the blackmail.
Or and he
Like,
and
he didn't-
and he bought into the corruption. He let them do what they
I don't
wanted.
know if. Well, he didn't stop them from
Yeah, he didn't
doing
stop
what
them.
they wanted because he was getting blackmailed.
True.
So it's
I
not like he was
also-
like a
Oh, go ahead.
willing, active participant. He was just kind of
Fair.
like, well, fuck, I can't really do anything about this. And then he got hung out a window and swirled.
Also, those black dudes, they took a major L. Even though they did
yeah,
rape,
man.
even though they did rape that girl, so like they were still criminals, but they did take an L. Now I'm not going
I'm
with
not-
Dudley or Pierce. I mean, or Paget or Sid. I'm going with the DA. The DA is the ultimate loser.
I thought you were gonna say the black rapist. for a
No.
second.
I
was
can't
really
go with the black
scared.
rapist. No. It is the DA. The DA, like Schubert said, got swirly, got hung out the window, got fucking pissed his pants, and probably lost his job. DA is the loser.
All because he wanted love to win, man.
No, all because he
What?
wanted to fuck and sneak. He wanted to fuck in hiding. He wanted to just have his cake and eat it too and abuse poor Matt.
Well, no, that's my point. Is because he wasn't the one who was gonna abuse Matt. You know, he didn't kill him. He
Yeah.
just wanted to have sex. And I don't
True.
know at that point, you know, nationwide or in California specifically, what the laws were like for, because there were a lot of states, especially around that time, where sodomy was still illegal.
Yeah,
So,
no,
like,
you're right.
You know, if you're a gay guy, you don't really have any choice but to hide it at that point. And then so if someone starts blackmailing you, like obviously you're not going to do anything because you were breaking the law too. So
No,
that
yep.
just goes to further my point that he just kind of got stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I might have actually just talked myself into agreeing with you on this.
Look, I think you
Yeah.
do. I think you
I think
do.
did.
Yep. So, I'm not putting 8 Mile on the movie wheel. I thought about it. I'm not putting it on the movie wheel. No,
No.
thank you.
Well, then fuck you too.
Okay,
It's
so we
Detroit
got
versus everybody, motherfucker.
so we got our
We-
winners. We got our
I-
losers.
the
We got
only-
our 6
I
man.
don't even know if I've seen the whole 8 Mile movie. I've only watched like the end of 8 Mile
So
probably
the rap battle.
1,200 times.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! you
Well,
gotta
not
watch.
all
It's
of it. I mean,
actually
like
a
the
good
lead up
movie.
to it too.
You gotta
know?
see Anthony Mackie killing it though. You got to. He did a good job. I might put it on there.
I've probably seen the whole movie, but not all at once.
Okay.
You're not
no.
putting that movie on there because of Anthony Mackie's 30-second performance in that movie, you son of a bitch.
That's why I would put it on there. But no, I'm putting
You just
Boogie.
Shout out to
Boogie
negated.
Anthony
Nights.
Mackie.
I am putting Boogie
Don't-
Nights on the list. I am. And
Don't
yeah,
you
shout out to Andy
Cheddar Bob
Mackie.
like
Don't
that.
you hate on Andy Mackie. Shout out. He was
Don't
best
you
part
part
hate
of
of
on
Captain
Cheddar
America.
Bob?
Okay, you're right. We
Cheddar
don't hate on
Bob
Chapter
needs
Mom.
his time in the
But-
spotlight.
Anthony Mackie is Bros Who Binges Captain America. Fuck Chris Evans. No, I'm just fucking around. Chris Evans, we rock with you. But Anthony Mackie is our fucking Captain America. Now, we did all the categories. Let's get to the ranking. Out of 10, what we got? I feel like this should be hot. I don't think it's the running
Yeah.
back king. I don't think it passes up Goodfellas, which is our running back king. It could. Let's see what we got. Schubert, out of 10, what you got?
9.5.
Ooh, let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's go. 9.5. I like it. Ian, what you got?
I was gonna say 9.
All right, Ian has 9 plus 9, and I'm gonna say 9.3. So okay, so we got 9 plus 9.3 plus 9.5 divided by 3. We're at a 9.3. The running back king is a 9.6, which is Goodfellas, but fucking here we go. LA Confidential in one of those second or third at 9.3. You love to see it. And the comedy running back is still fucking whatchamacallit, super bad. Yeah, 100%.
You know, I mean, it's not far off for me to rate it at the height. It is 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, you're right. It is. No, you're absolutely right.
94 audience score.
You're absolutely right. So, all right, let's let me share. So, can y'all see the wheel?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so everybody can see the wheel. So now it's time to spin. I added Boogie Nights, as y'all can see, because we talked about that in
Watch
the
it be
pod.
Boogie Nights. God
All
damn.
right, let's see. Let's see what we get. The wheel
I
is
don't want to
spinning.
see Mark Wahlberg's giant face.
If it's
on.
Boogie Nights, I'll pick another one. Oh
No, that's
no,
okay.
not
Oh,
Shrek
please.
2.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Oh,
Fucking-
justice.
Fucking Shrek 2. Oh my gosh, bro.
Oh, I'm definitely watching that.
Shrek.
Is that-
and
Three
then
times
watch
before
Shrek
we
Is
do
that
that.
is that a Schubert choice?
Yes.
Nice. So we got a Schubert movie. Shrek 2, not next week, the week after. It's off the wheel. So let me tell y'all some of the remaining movies we still have for y'all to be looking forward to. Back to the Future, New Hope, Jurassic Park, Caddyshack, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Mad Max Fury Road, Presumed Innocence, Prisoners, Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, 12 Angry Men, Rocky, Lean on Me, Apocalypse Now, Sandlot, Jackie Brown, Punch Drunk Love, Crazy Stupid Love, American Gangster, Rear Window, A Few Dollars More, Nice Guys, and Boogie Nights. We got some fire movies left on the list. Like fire. I'm still ready for Back to the Future to get chosen. Like I really want to review Back to the Future with y'all because there's some good shit in that fucking movie. Like there's casting what ifs. There's like all the good shit for us to discuss.
Well, I mean, we're about to
If
have
we
like
do-
a new run it back king like this.
With
next
Shrek
time-
2?
This next time around, yeah.
Man, if you think
If Back to the Future is a near perfect movie, this is a near perfect.
Shrek 2 is
movie.
beginning
near
the
perfect movie.
Shrek 2, even though we've done animated movies in the past with anime and Akira, we have an animated run it back. Like, you know, we split drama, comedy, and animated. Animated is not getting rated the same as fucking LA Confidential. Shrek 2 may be the animated run it back king, but it's not the overall. Just like Superbad can't be the overall at 9.8.
I might get higher than Superbad.
Ian, you think Shrek 2?
That's-
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ian, for
No.
stopping this blasphemy.
Absolutely not.
But that's pretty much
Just turn
all.
your camera off for a while. You're in timeout.
That's pretty much all we have for this week. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Y'all have a week to prepare because next week is not going to be it's the week after that. So next week, watch Shrek 2 in preparation. Ian, tell the people where they can follow you at on social media.
You can find me on Instagram at Ian Hawley 12, and you can find me on Twitter at IanBWT.
Schubert, tell the people where they can follow you at on social media.
You can follow me at aschubert14 on Twitter and Instagram, and AdamBWT on Letterboxd.
100%.
Binge will be back next week. We didn't do it this week, more so because there wasn't really much to talk about.
Oh,
but
and we
next
got to
week
watch
we
the Jamie
have-
Foxx movie too because that's out. I heard it's good on
Okay,
Netflix.
well, there's the Jamie Foxx
Y'all-
movie. I'll have seen Prey. We got She-Hulk. We have Game of Thrones.
Yep, which I'm
series.
excited about.
So
Yep,
Y'all
Game of
gotta
Thrones.
watch that
maybe.
Harley Quinn show on
Oh,
HBO.
oh, yeah.
You late. Who you talking to?
well,
This
we've been
guy.
watched that.
Who you talking to? Also, Schubert, we got to watch Mike. Mike is out.
Oh, Oh, there we go.
Like
Another one.
I'd rather
Like
do Mike
Mike?
before She-Hulk.
No,
No,
the Mike
Mike
Tyson
Mike
docu-series.
Tyson docu-series, my boy.
And I'm currently watching the Legacy docu.
Oh, you watching the
Yo,
Lakers?
makes me lose
Perfect.
my
We're
Yes.
talking about that too. And I know you watch Manti Te'o, so we're gonna talk about that too. Because that shit was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
Y'all
They
been
were-
watching
uh,
Hard
Bro.
Knocks with the Lions?
No, I haven't watched that yet. I need to watch that.
I'm going to.
Goddamn.
I'm probably gonna start watching it tomorrow.
Ooh, so okay, I'm gonna
Lions
watch it.
are
then.
winning 17 games this year.
Look, I have y'all
hell
as
no.
the I
But
have
they'll
y'all
win the game.
as the third seed
No,
in
no,
y'all
no.
division. I don't have y'all as the
Yeah,
bottom.
I'm drafting some of their players for sure.
Like I really
Well,
think
that's
y'all.
because
I think y'all
Amon-Ra
can push
St.
the.
Brown?
I think y'all can push the
him in the
Vikings for
flex.
second too. Like I truly believe in y'all. But Schubert, I was telling you on the radio show, I had to stop them. I was like, callers, y'all can't keep doing this. They was coming on the show and it was like, tell me why Manti Te'o was dating a middle linebacker. I was like, oh. I was like, y'all clowning. There was like that girl was built like a fridge.
Oh my god. Should have been the best fullback in the women's league.
Yeah.
And then one of them said something that I had to dump. I'm not gonna say it on air. I'll say it off of air. But
Oh,
my
no.
God, they was doing the most. But y'all can follow me at LinBWT. Follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Be sure to check out all of our amazing content. If you haven't checked out the last episode of Bros Who Binge, check it out because we have our Bullet Train review and our Prey review. And then Schubert will give his thoughts on Prey in the upcoming week. So make sure you check out all of that. Check out the Bros Who Think podcast, as well as check out Anime Talk, because me and Krista will be reviewing Dragon Ball Super, the movie. We're doing that tomorrow. We're going to watch it. So check out all of that. But until next time, Shrek 2 is next. Enjoy watching it. And until next time, peace.